So the subject of this video is going to be about speculation about Antonio Brown and what has led him down this road. Let's go back in time to a couple years ago. The Steelers were playing the Bengals. But before we do that, let's look at the tweet today from Raiders GM Mike Mayock. Said that Antonio Brown is still not at practice because he's upset with his helmet issue. Now, I remember telling a friend a few years ago, Antonio Brown seems like someone who doesn't talk a lot, doesn't chatter off to opponents, doesn't mess with his teammates, doesn't do any of that. And this was when we were all comparing him to Julio Jones and Odell Beckham Jr. And everybody seemed to get on the Odell Beckham Jr. hate train because Odell ran his mouth a lot, and he still does to this day. But recently, Antonio Brown has been in the news not for his abilities, but for what he's been doing off the field, talking, getting injured, running down his teammates, his feud with Ben Roethlisberger, and now this, complaining about not being able to use his helmet. So it led me to think about what led Antonio Brown down this path. So I'm going to show you where I think it all started, and I'm not a medical professional by any means, but this was the play in which I think turned Antonio Brown into the man he is today. Now you see in that play, his current teammate, Vontaze Burfict, nailed him, laid him out with a headshot. And if you know Antonio Brown, before that play, all he did was just go out there and play football. But you ever wonder, maybe he's suffering some sort of side effect from that hit? I mean, that hit was a few years ago during the playoffs when the Steelers and the Bengals were fighting it out. This was 2016. So we're 3 years later, and Antonio Brown is clearly exhibiting some form of mental incapacity with the way he's acting. I don't want to, because you can't confirm for sure, but he could be suffering from some early signs of CTE. When you really think about it, just stop and think about it. Antonio Brown got laid out on that play. Before that play, you never heard a word about Antonio Brown or from Antonio Brown. Give it a year, and then you still didn't hear a word. He started talking last year in 2018, maybe a little bit before, but we started hearing him run his mouth last year and started acting erratically, saying things that he didn't really usually say. So now I'm starting to believe that that hit may have changed the Antonio Brown we used to know into the Antonio Brown we currently know. And that's starting to make me wonder if Antonio Brown will ever be the same again, not just as a player, but as a person. So I'm starting to wonder if Antonio Brown will even be able to contribute as a wide receiver for the Raiders, if he's going to show up, or if he's even going to have a career anymore. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you believe that Vontaze Burfict and that hit that he had a few years ago on him changed Antonio Brown as we know it? Let me know. Like, share, and subscribe.